What is up, everyone? It's the Golden Centurion here, back at it again for some more CPC content. So today I'm bringing you guys my Week 8 matchup versus Narf Vader. Narf is a good pal of mine. Known him for a little while in the format. He's a great player with honestly probably the most potential out of anyone. He's a younger dude that's honestly playing with like some of the best in the format, and just great to see. Could definitely see a bright future with him in the format. So definitely going to be a hard match for us to beat, but I think we could pull through. So today, his team is a pretty strong one. He didn't. I don't forget who drafted it. However, he just happened. He's a substitute coach for whoever did draft it, but he inherited one heck of a team. So the six that he decided to bring were Megalodios, Excadrill, Salazzle. He has his Azumarill, his Porygon 2, and his Buzzwole. So the six I decided to bring to combat his team was my Jirachi, my Togekiss, my Thundurus, my Mega Venusaur, my Weavile, and my Empoleon. So looking at his team, his threats right away that I can see are Slazzle's for sure one. As you guys can tell, looking at my team, I have no one that wants to take a Fire Blast or a Sludge Wave really. Empoleon can take a Sludge Wave, however, it's not chewing two Fire Blasts all that well, especially with something like Life Orb. Weavile definitely doesn't want to take one, so it's not a switch in. My Mega Venusaur doesn't appreciate it. My Thundurus doesn't appreciate it. My Togekiss definitely doesn't take a Sludge Wave, and Jirachi doesn't take a Fire Blast. So right away, that's a big offensive threat. Pretty speedy as well. His Excadrill can be if I don't check it properly. His Latios, Mega Latios, can do pretty well in this match. It's not the most threatening as I have a Weavile as well as Scarfers that can check it. His Azumarill kind of gets walled by my Mega Venusaur unless he's like a bounce or a Z bounce or something. But I can pretty much wall that. His Porygon 2 can be annoying depending on his setup, and Buzzwole is actually pretty threatening. So, but I do have things like Air Slash Togekiss, my Thundurus, and my Jirachi that can semi-handle it. So, get into the team that I brought my, sorry about that. I brought a Jirachi here that's more of a defensive variant. It is, it's Protect, Wish, Psychic, and Substitute, I believe. Protect, Wish, maybe Substitute, Psychic. I believe that's its set. And its berry is the Oka Berry, or Aka Berry. So what that means is it halves the damage of super effective fire type moves. So Jirachi's goal here is mostly a support role to get wishes up. However, I can also lure in the Salazzle. The Salazzle will want to come in here to take advantage of my Jirachi as it will outspeed. And then once the Salazzle's in, he'll more than likely go for Fire Blast, and I can live it easily because of my Aka Berry and then kill with a Psychic, as I have just enough investment to make sure I one-shot it. Next up is my Togekiss. So my Togekiss is a Choice Scarf variant. I believe it's Air Slash, Dazzling Gleam, and something like Fire Blast and Trick. It's speedy enough to outspeed basically his entire team, as it'll outspeed a Salazzle. I'm not creeping a Buzzwole, however. So Choice Scarf Buzzwole, I believe, will outspeed me, but I really doubt he's bringing a Buzzwole. So I do have some bulk on this. I have my Thundurus here, who is Z Dark Pulse. I'm Focus Blast, Dark Pulse, Thunderbolt, and Agility. So this Thunder set is actually really cool. It is Agility. Yet it's really bulky as well. So it has 176 HP investment. What that allows me to do is take 2 Aqua Jets from an Azumarill after rocks. So even if he gets the 2 highest rolls possible, I can take any 2 Aqua Jets from Azumarill after rocks. So this will allow me to set up my agility basically for free against Azumarill if he wants to just try and Aqua Jet me out. Next up is my defensive Mega Venusaur with Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, I think Synthesis and like HP Fire or something along those lines. Basically, it's bulky. It can take on its main role here is to keep the Azumarill in check, as well as it can semi-wall the Excadrill depending on some rolls and stuff. I have my Weavile here, who is Life Orb. I have Knockoff, Icicle Crash, Ice Shard, and Aerial Ace. So Knockoff or Icicle Crash is for Veladios. It deals good damage to Excadrill. Knockoff one-shots Veslazzle. I cannot hit the Azumarill at all, really. I was going to run Poison Jab, but I decided against it as I wanted priority with Ice Shard. Knocking off this thing's Eviolite is going to be huge, and Aerial Ace should be able to two-shot his Buzzwole, which depending on his investment. And then I have my Rocks Empoleon, who is Shookaberry, so I can take a hit from his Excadrill. So I'm Rocks, Defog, Scald, and Toxic, I think. So that's the team that I decided to bring. Sorry if it was a really lengthy kind of talk. So to establish my win cons real quick, Thundurus is a huge win con. If I can get agility up, I can tear through his team. So it's more of a late game win con. First, I need to get rid of... in order for Thundurus to really sweep, I need to really weaken down his Porygon 2, as well as try and get up things I can get an agility off on. So Rocks will probably be big if I can get Empoleon to get his Rocks up. So that's my established win con, and the rest are kind of just to build around it. So looking at his team, I'm deciding to lead with my Empoleon. As I'm Shookaberry, I can take on his Excadrill. I'm good against Salazzle, and I'd get my Rocks up against anything else, really. And I don't see him leading Buzzwole. So that's what I do. I lead with my Trident as he leads with his Excadrill. So turn 1, he goes for Earthquake. I activate my Shooka. I live it. I go for Scald. Get big damage, but no burn. And he goes for Earthquake again. So why I didn't switch into my Togekiss or my Thundurus is that looking at the matchup, my Empoleon wasn't that valuable to me. It didn't do much on this match. So I didn't want to risk him going for something like Rock Slide or something, and then killing my, or getting big damage on my Thundurus or my Togekiss. So I decided to kind of sack my Empoleon there, which I know some may disagree with, but I believe it didn't have the most impact on my team. So now I go into Thundurus as if this thing's Choice Scarfed, he'll switch out. If he's not Choice Scarfed, I'll outspeed it and kill it. So it exerts a lot of pressure. So I expected him to switch out and to go into this thing, actually. I was expecting him to go into Megalodios. So I go ahead and go for my Dark Pulse here, as I get a crit, which is unfortunate for him. But as you guys can see, it does 81. So it for sure would have been two-shotting either way. But this Megalodios is now at a really weak amount of health. And I'm not Choice Scarf, so, and this, as I said, is my win con, so I'm not going to try and get it damaged at all. So I switch right out into my Twilight, as I could take any hit it wants to. He goes for Toxic, which just so happened to work out for me. So then he goes into less Salazzle as I go for my own Toxic. And then he goes for a Substitute as I click Psychic. He probably thought I was going to switch here. But now Narf reveals some really cool tech as he goes for his Disable. And what this means is my only attacking move, as I'm Wish, Toxic, Protect, Psychic, is gone. Meaning he can now set up a free substitute on me, or he can just straight out try and kill me here. So that's some really cool tech on him. A substitute Disable Salazzle with lefties is a really interesting set that completely caught me off guard in this matchup. It basically means that my Jirachi that was meant to take out this Salazzle now cannot touch it at all. Which is really unfortunate for me. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Togekiss here, knowing I could take any hit. So I chew up that Flamethrower, which reveals he's not the most specially invested. So he goes into his Porygon 2 as I go for Air Slash. So I go right into my Mega Venusaur here as he doubles into his Excadrill. So I decide I want this threat out of the way in case he's Choice Scarfed, but he obviously reveals not to be as he goes for Rocks. So there goes his Excadrill, which is nice. However, he gets up Rocks, which severely damage my Thundurus, hurt my Togekiss, and hurt my Weavile, all who take 25% from Rocks. So this is where having my Empoleon with Defog would have been nice. However, hopefully I can still play around with this. As I mentioned, my Thunder sees EV to live 2 Aqua Jets plus rocks from um, a Azumarill, so that's good. And my team should still be able to handle his team with rocks up, but it's going to be a lot more difficult now. So I'm at 100% with my Mega Venusaur as he goes into his Jetflix. So I expected him to Psychic here or Roost. Based on the fact that he was Toxic, that right away tells me that he's Toxic, Roost, Psychic, and some coverage move that's more than likely able to hit the Togekiss. So I'm expecting his set to be Roost, Toxic, probably Ice Beam, or no, Thunderbolt to hit the Empoleon and Psychic. So my Weavile after Ox can easily take a Thunderbolt, so it will not be doing that much damage. I wouldn't expect him to be Dragon Pulse, as that'd be kind of weird, as then he's completely walled by my Jirachi as well as my Togekiss. So Weavile Hero is just my best play, as if he wants to Roost, that's fine. He gets health back and I kill him the next turn or someone takes a big Ice Skull Crash. If he decides not to Roost and goes for Psychic, I'm immune. Or if he goes for Thunderbolt, then it will not be two-shotting me or one-shotting me even by any means. So Weavile is just my best play. A really aggressive play if had he had Draco, but as I said, looking at my team, he wasn't bringing Draco to this matchup, or at least I wouldn't. But I exert my pressure here and he roosts. So now I'm in a really good spot here. He has his Jetflix here, and I kill it with Knockoff. I kill it with Ice Skull Crash. And I believe Pursuit, depending on my item, which he doesn't know, can kill it. And so he's kind of in a really interesting spot here. So he can switch out trying to preserve his Megalodios. However, if he does do that, then I click Pursuit. He's gone. So he might try and just stay in here, as Pursuit I don't believe would kill. And attack me, or he'll switch out. If he switches out, he goes into Buzzwole. So I debated clicking. As I mentioned, I don't have Pursuit, but he probably thinks I do. So I debated between Aerial Ace and Ice Shard here, as Aerial Ace would two-shot the Buzzwole, or Ice Skull Crash, not Ice Shard, will one-shot this Megalodios. So I decided to just attack what's in front of me, and I go for my Ice Skull Crash here. So Ice Skull Crash completely, it one-shotted this. Anyways, so the crit didn't matter at all. So you guys can see, he now goes into his Buzzwole looking to revenge me, as he can take anything easily and then kill me. If I went for Aerial Ace Fair after his Leech Life, I'd be dead. So I go into my Twilight. As I mentioned, I'm defensive, as this thing cannot two-shot me really with anything based on my HP investment. So that's really nice, as I can live anything and then get off a big Psychic. And if I get off a Psychic here, and it brings him down insanely low. So after Ox, he goes for Leech Life, and he crits me. So that crit reveals that he is not that offensively invested, to where normal Leech Life plus Earthquake, I would have been able to live 100% of the time. So I go for Psychic here, bring him down really low. He goes for Earthquake, and it kills me. So what that means is he gets a defense boost. So that crit on Jirachi basically means that now, instead of me having a Jirachi at 50 at half health and his Buzzwole being gone, he has a Buzzwole at +1 defense at basically 30 HP. So that crit really hurt. The Megalodios crit wasn't as bad, as I mentioned. While he was forced to Roost there, had he gone for T-Bolt, we'd be in the same situation anyways. So it didn't really matter as much, as Dark Pulse still would have done insane damage. But this Jirachi one was really unfortunate, as having my Jirachi here would be really nice for his team. So I make a misplay here. I go into Weavile. I checked, I calced, and my Aerial Ace was killing. However, he could have the Flying Berry, and I didn't think about that. The reason why I went Weavile instead of Togekiss is that Weavile exerts more pressure on if you want to preserve his thing, or on who would come in next, as Azumarill doesn't want to lose its item, Porygon 2 doesn't want to lose its item, Salazzle definitely doesn't want to get O-Code. So Weavile just exerted a lot more pressure than what Togekiss would, so that's why I wanted to hear.